Hi, this is Peter McGough with Musket Development. I'm here with a bodybuilding legend, Eddie Robinson, an old friend of mine. I know Eddie's pretty camera shy, but we'll try and get him to talk. So, Eddie, you had a fantastic career overall. You're an outstanding teen competitor in powerlifting and in bodybuilding. Just give us a reprise of what you achieved as a teenager.
Oh, where do I start? Well, my career as a teenager basically took off when I was in powerlifting. I was entering meet, I ended up doing a 5'10", 575, and ended up breaking a world record. That's when I got a call from a good friend, Fred Hatfield. He goes, Eddie, do you know what you just did? You just broke the teen world record. And I didn't know. The night before I was out drinking beers with my friends, and I just entered the show, and from there it took off. Joe Weider gave me a call, and
So what year was that when you broke the world record?
oh, I took a teenage world record. I think it was back in it was 83, 84, 83. At that time, I competed into the Teen USA. Took the Teen USA, and that's when Joe signed me back in my teenage days.
So then you progressed to the pros. You won the USA overall in what, 89?
Right. 1989, I won the USA. The year before that was John Defendis, and right after the USA's, I went to I believe it was the Canadian Pro Cup, and I won my first pro show. Then it was off to the Olympia and off to the Night of the Champions, and then I get a knock on my door after the Olympia, and it was guess who? Vince McMahon. And then I did my 4 years with the WBF. However, the WBF only lasted for 2 years, but ended up was the endorser for ICOPRO with Fred Hatfield, so I stayed the additional 2.
So what was, you won your first pro show. It was actually the Niagara Falls. I think it was 1990. It was after the USA. It wasn't the same year. But never mind. You won your first pro show, and then you went to the Night of Champions and the Olympia. That was a strange Olympia, wasn't it? The 1990 drug tested.
Well, yeah, the 1990 was they say the strange one. But Joe had told me that one thing is that of course it was going to be drug tested. He wanted to prove that hey, you can look good, be able to place on the Olympia stage drug free, and it was it totally changed. The dieting and everything. Of course, I switched things around, and it was a rough contest. But I came in, I placed 10th in my first. And I was blessed just to be standing up there with Lee Haney and Lee Labrada and all the champions of the yesteryear, the golden years.
So the WWF with Vince McMahon, who is a real great bodybuilding fan. I know, I've interviewed him. What was life like in it? Because there's a lot of stories about this, that, and the other. The fat diet, the persona. What were you a golfer or something for the WBF? Did you? Was that how they gave you a cameo to play?
Yeah, well, I was Major Guns Eddie Robinson with a machine gun, of course.
Somebody else was the golfer.
Yeah, I think they had I don't know, it was Troy Zucalato or somebody. I don't know what the heck it was. But anyways, I was Major Guns Eddie Robinson. I came out with the M16 and all that good stuff. And I want to tell you, when I was with Vince McMahon, those are really some of the best days of my life. Well, he treated us with respect. We had a limo everywhere we went. He kind of babied us, and we got paid really, really good, which was really nice in the sport. The shows were fantastic. I've met a lot of great people. I remember backstage that's where I met Donald Trump, as a matter of fact, at the Taj Mahal. I brought the house down at Taj Mahal, came out of the sky in a parasailing and landed on center stage in my pose routine, and I landed a 2-year contact with Donald Trump, as a matter of fact, doing all of his diet and training. So it was a pretty good turnout, all in all.
But you didn't look after his haircut.
No, well, you don't want to talk about Trump's hair, that's. But anyways, I thought it was really great working with Vince. I wish it would have lasted a long time. I thought it brought a lot of different things to the sport, more entertaining. The physiques, the way we were all characterized, I think was good entertainment. I think it brought a lot of fun for all ages and for everybody to attend.
I mean, it's unfortunate that the WWF got embroiled, well, the WWE or the WWF at the time got embroiled in a drug scandal. Was that the reason you think he folded the WWF? What reason did he give that he was pulling the plug?
He pulled the plug. There was the drug controversy that went on at the time. Yeah, the indictment that came down before with Hulk Hogan and Vince was a huge media storm. It wasn't the reason. Joe wanted him out. He seen what was coming down the pike. He had the money. He had the media. He had everything to make this thing good. It was just the threat and the indictments. And, of course, a lot of this is hearsay, but a lot of people were going after Vince and saying, we're going to go after your wrestlers. We're going to go after drugs. We're going to go after all this miscellaneous stuff. And and he didn't want to have that because you got to understand that wrestling was his nest egg, and he had to protect that. So pretty much folded the WBF, and we're no longer.
And then after that, I mean, you were one of the few. There's only a couple of you that were kept on by ICAPRO, which was Vince supplement company.
Right.
Was there somebody? Was it Troy and you or somebody?
I
Or
was the only one. I was the only one that represented Iker Pro. Fred Hatfield developed a line, which was a great integrated conditioning program, which was Iker Pro. Had a great sound nutritional a program for bodybuilding, and I ended up staying on for an additional 2 years. Of course, what was great, I still had a huge contract going on for those additional 2 years. Why everybody that were trying to come back got their butt handed to them, of course. I remember the night of the champions when everybody's holding the tombstones, you know. So making a comeback for the individuals was hard that were with the WBF because what happened, they all had to pay a sanctioned fine. Whatever they got paid, they had to pay a percentage for it. But remember, I had a 2-year contract, and I was very blessed. If you were with Weeder at that time, if I'm not mistaken, Weeder ended up buying my contract out from Vince. Not only did the judges and the athletes hate me, I got my contract bought out from Vince McMahon, and I came back and I competed on that stage again, which was, a lot of them raised an eyebrow on that, you know.
well, I mean, we know the reason Joey brought you back. You were one of the most energetic, animated, charismatic bodybuilders at the time. You know, you really put out in the photo sessions with Chris Lund and everybody. Tell me about a photo session with Chris Lund.
Oh, Chris Lund. I love the guy. The guy is magic behind anything in black and white, of course, and in the publications is Chris Lund. The man's magic. He's just like a Robert Reef with the covers, also in the color. With Chris Lund, he liked me because if there was a 200-pound dumbbell, I love shooting. I love being the best I can. And if there was if they had the biggest dumbbell in there, I'd be shooting with it because I want to show what I can do and be caught in the best shape, condition, and using that weight. So we had some intense photo shoots. And if you see the ones we did with Richie Aspari doing the 200-pound dumbbell toss, we're doing flies with 200 pounds, head crusher with 200-pound dumbbells. You know, so shooting with Chris was amazing. You know, especially with the black and whites. He busted our ass.
So then, I mean, you came back to the IFBB, did a few contests. When was your last contest with the IFBB, and why did you decide to call it a day at that point?
I'm trying to remember which one was my last one.
Was it 98, sometime in 98?
It was right at 2000 when I retired. I think it was 99, 98, 99. I forget what show. I think it was the Arnold Classic, if I'm not mistaken, or it was the Canadian Pro Cup. You know, one of the reasons I went out there is I started seeing the change in the sport. You know, I talked to Joe about this stuff, and I'm like, hey, you know, I got a contract with you. I said, there's no way I can possibly look like these guys anymore. I said, I'm going back there, and you can see all the pump and pose and the synthol going on at the time. And I said, Joe, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to place in these shows because I'm not going to be able to place. Joe's looked at that and says, why do you think I have you aboard? It's not winning these shows. It's selling those publications. And your training and your physique the way it looks. He says, I don't care, you know, if you win or lose. Just keep and stay in that condition that you're in. And so, you know, at the end of the day, that's what I did. But as I seen the sport change, and after that contest, I came to the conclusion. I told Joe, I'm done. I'm going to retire. And that's the reason I said that is I was in Woodland Hills that night. And he said, Eddie, I'm telling you something. I'm selling the publication. I said, good, because I'm getting out of the sport also. Because he was telling me he wasn't going to resign me, and everybody was going to date David Pecker. And at that time, I told Joe, I said, if you're selling, you're not involved in the publication, I'm gone, because I'm not going to work for anybody else.
So bring us up to date, Eddie. Tell us about your life today, where you live, how you occupy your time.
Right now, I'm giving back to the sport. I train a lot of great athletes here in Clearwater, Florida, getting ready for bodybuilding, a lot of football players, a lot of baseball players here for the Phillies and what have you. I spent a lot of time training my son. He's a fullback right now for Countryside Cougars. So he's a fullback this year. So spending a lot of time with my family and also with my fiance. I live on the Gulf of Mexico. If I'm not on that football field or in the gym training athletes, we're out there on the bay fishing. So I've been blessed all my life, loving and doing what I like to do. And I continue to do so. I'm in the gym every day because I am a gym rat. And I love being in there, and I'm getting paid for it.
Well, that's terrific, Eddie. Thanks for your time. Can I just, Kerry, Seth? So, okay, I'm joined here by the Robinson family. This is Kerry. She's the future Mrs. Robinson.
Kelly.
Did I get it wrong again? Sorry. This is the future Mrs. Robinson. Yeah. Tell us what is life with Eddie. What's life with Eddie like?
It's an adventure every day. He's a blast to be around. I mean, he makes me laugh every day. I mean, it's nonstop laughter at the house with him and his little man. So it's just, I mean, I wouldn't ask for anything else. It's great, you know. We train together every day, so we push each other, you know.
Congratulations. When do you get married?
Oh, we don't have a date yet, so.
Why rush a good thing? You know what I mean? Why rush a good thing? But you know, in all honesty, we have a great time. She's also a diet coach. She works with a lot of athletes, so it's something fun we enjoy doing together. 'Cause she does a lot of online skyping with athletes all around the world. She's got 79 going right now, and plus this guy gets to listen to all this stuff, so he's going to be our feature trainer. I don't have to put him on a diet. He listens to it all day long, so you know he applies it to himself.
So Seth, do you realize how good a bodybuilder and how famous your father is?
Yep, I do.
Do you have any aspirations to follow in his footsteps?
Yeah, but I'm gonna
Not in the
try.
bodybuilding.
But
We're going to get
I'm-
into football. I
Football.
like to, you know, maybe some golf, somewhere you just
No,
you know,
whoa.
let's make some big money.
just
He's quite adept at football, I hear.
Seth's a good football player. He's a fullback this year. He just got on the first string. I picked for first string. But what we're looking at for him right now is education. He's gonna make a hell of an attorney. This guy can debate, and he always wins. So even with me, and I'm hard. So you know, I look forward to this raising this kid. I haven't done but a good time since the birth of this guy. It's always never a moment. This is my mini me, and he's just like me. So
Well, look, it's been a great time spending with you, the family Robinson. I wish you all the best in all your endeavours. It's been great to see you again, Eddie. We've kept in touch, but we haven't seen each other for quite a few years. So that's all from us today, me and the family Robinson. Check back for MD for all the comings and goings of the bodybuilding world, and that's it. Thank you.